Hello and welcome to Game Week 1 of Premier League predictions. This is the third year going now. Hopefully I do the whole season like I did the previous two. And this one's going to probably be a little quicker because there's really nothing to go off of other than preseason. But preseason isn't really something to use to tell what's going to happen in the future. So we're going to kick off straight away with Arsenal versus Coventry, which happens this Friday, so in 2 days. So Arsenal, the Premier League champions, versus Coventry, the championship champions, winners. This one should be simple. Arsenal should be winning this one. I'm going to say 2-0, but Coventry, in my opinion, will probably give a better game to Arsenal than what City did in the Community Shield. That game was horrendous. And I think Coventry won't score, but they'll give it a go. Since it's the first game back, they want to put on a show. But 2-0 to Arsenal. Next up is Hull City versus United, another promoted side, versus third place of last season. And this one, again, similar story. I think the promoted side is going to give another hard matchup or hard game to United, but I still think United's going to win here, but it's going to be scary. I think Hull will score one. I think Hull likes to do counters. They're at home. I can see them scoring. So I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to United. Next up is Ipswich versus Sunderland, and the last promoted side playing already versus Sunderland, who had a really good season last season. They finished 7th, I believe it was. So they will have Europa, but not quite yet. So they can get those early points at the beginning without worrying about playing 2 games a week. And I think they will get their 3 points on the board here. It will be tough. It's going to be at Ipswich's home, which I forget the name of it. Portman Road. It's going to be at Portman Road, but I still think Sunderland's going to win here. But I think it's going to be very low scoring. Sunderland last season were struggling to score, I believe it was. Yeah, compared to other teams around them in the league last season, they were pretty low. They had like 10 goals less. So Sunderland don't score too much. I'm going to go for a 1-0 win to Sunderland. Next up, we have Everton versus Crystal Palace. This should be an entertaining game here. Everton at home. And last season at home, they weren't too good. They didn't pick up many points there. And Crystal Palace, I think, were better away from home. They were in the middle of the pack. They were average. But anyways, this one should be pretty entertaining. I do want to say Everton's midfield is looking quite weak. They don't have Gardner. Apparently he's out. Irabunum, I don't know how to say it. And then Norgard is also out. So they have to be playing Hackney, one of their new signings, and Armstrong. I'm not even sure who that is. Probably a new signing. I'm not too sure. But I still think this is going to be a pretty even matchup. Crystal Palace is going to be managed by Pure Sage, something like that. It's going to be even. His first game in the Prem. Everton have Moyes. He's experienced. Everton aren't that good at home, but both teams going to go for it again. I'm going to say it ends a 1-1 draw. Next up is Forest versus Leeds. So Forest are now being managed by Glasner. That's not a big improvement, but it is an improvement. They're going to be using that wingback system, which I think is arguably the best system formation to use in football. Personal opinion there, but Leeds is going to be doing the exact same thing. They're going to be running that wingback system as well, and it's going to be at the City Ground. So a big advantage there for Forest. I think Forest should be taking this one. Last season wasn't so good for them. They had Europe, which sort of took a lot of their attention. Now they don't, and now I think they're going to do really good in the season. I still think Leeds has a chance to do so as well, but they still need to take that extra step in terms of the quality of players they have on the field. But I still think they'll give it a go here. I'm going to say that Forest win 2-1. Next up is Brentford versus Spurs. Brentford running it again with Keith Andrews, the set piece coach apparently it was, and that's a complete lie. He got Brentford to get 9th place, was it? 9th place, and now they're facing Spurs, who ended up 17th place last season, but that should not happen this time around. They're being managed by De Zerbi from the start of the season, and Brentford, when they do host Spurs at their stadium in the last 5 times, it's ended in a draw 4 times. So this has a draw written all over it, kind of, because Spurs is a little different now. They have improved, but Brentford is also no joke. And it is going to be at their home at the G-Tech. So once again here, I'm going down the line, but I think this might be an entertaining one. I'm going to say it ends in a 2-2 draw. Next up is City versus Bournemouth, and City is going to be hosting here at the Etihad, and Bournemouth is going to be looking completely new. Well, not completely new. Actually, it should be looking the same, because apparently Marco Reus is quite similar in terms of tactics to Andoni Ariola, so it should be quite the same. They didn't make too many signings, I don't think. They didn't lose too many people, other than Senesi. I think that was the biggest one and like the only big one. But the transfer window isn't closed yet, so a lot of these teams can change by the time that week comes around. But as of right now, City versus Bournemouth, I think City should win. Ignoring what happened in the Community Shield, right? Because you shouldn't take that into your thought process. It usually isn't a good indication of what's going to happen. We should be winning this one. City, when they do host Bournemouth, we have won. I think it was the last five, and you could push it even further than that. We have beaten them, and some of them were pretty convincing. So Bournemouth probably won't score here. They're missing Krupi for the couple first months, so he won't be here. One of their better goal scorers. It's just that Community Shield really scared me in terms of what's going to happen in the season. But I'm still confident enough in City to say that we're going to win 2-0. Next up, we have Brighton versus Villa. It's going to be at the Amex. This one should be pretty entertaining. A lot of players that you expect to start will be missing due to injury. Like for Aston Villa side, apparently Emi Martinez is down. That could be his links to Juventus. Konsa is gone now. He's an Arsenal player. João Gomez, their new signing, and Manzambi, their new signing as well, both questionable and knocks. Onana's down as well. Aston Villa's looking quite weak at the moment. Not good for them. And then Brighton, they're also missing some players. Mitomo, he's been injured for a while. Baleba is basically halfway out the door. He's going to United. Struijk, one of their new center backs from Leeds, he's injured. Minta is injured. Yeah, so both teams are going through it at the moment. And when these two teams do face at the Amex, Villa has beaten Brighton 4 of the last 5 times. That's pretty good record there from Villa. And it sort of makes you think it would go Villa side, but those injuries are really moving the needle back the other way. So I'm going to be boring once again and go down the middle. I think it's a pretty safe bet. It's going to end in a draw. Both teams are going to want to win this one. Maybe one can push for the winner, but I think it's going to end up going down the middle and say it ends in a 1-1 draw. Next up is Newcastle versus Liverpool. Newcastle, a completely new team, a new sort of approach to the way they're just going to do everything, it looks like. They're now under management of Jassler. I still don't know how to say his name. Jassler. It's not even a lur at the end. It's a Jassel, Matthias Jassel. Let's go with that. They made a couple signing. Didic, a new right back, because Livramento is always down injured. Torre, the winger. I think that's the Gordon replacement. They brought in something like that, to replace Gordon or Tonali, I'm not too sure. And then they got Bamba to replace the other one as well. A lot of new signings here for Newcastle. Very different team. As for Liverpool, kind of the opposite. They haven't made too many signings, which they need to do. And now they're being managed by Andoni Ariola, which is a big improvement from Slot. But the biggest thing that makes me go one way is their head-to-head, their recent fixtures, and that's Liverpool beating them basically a lot at the St. James's Park. They beat them 4 out of the last 5. Yes, 4 out of the last 5, and that 5th game was a draw, 3-3 draw. So I do want to go for Liverpool side, even though they don't fill me with confidence this season. But they should have enough to beat Newcastle. A lot of their players are going to be playing their first game in the Prem. So yeah, I'm going to go for Liverpool, and I'm going to go ahead and say this ends in a 2-1 draw. Then the last game of the game week, we have Fulham versus Chelsea. Fulham, in my predictions, their season predictions, I'm not too confident in them. I think they're going to be near relegation zone. I said 16th. If not 17th. When these two teams face in the Craven Cottage, Fulham has won twice and Chelsea has won the other 3 times in the last 5 games. So it's a pretty even split there. But Chelsea, I think Chelsea just has to. I said it in my season predictions, they have to perform. There's no way you have all these players and you can't perform. And also, I think they're going to be running that wingback system with 3 at the back, wingbacks. And it looks like 2 10s. Yes, that they have the perfect players to do so. I think they should run that, and I think they will. And I think Chelsea has a good chance here of absolutely blitzing these guys. Anderson is also down for Fulham, their center back, so that's even a little bit weaker there. And Chelsea looks like their starters are all there. they're going to be starting the season with a full squad, which is very good for them. And I think Chelsea would win here 3-1. Those are my predictions for game week 1. Tell me what you guys think in the comments. Leave a like, subscribe, and peace.